You know, when you talk about forgiveness, I remember, I think it was around 2012, you know, early days when I started the church. And I would preach powerful to the church, you know, pray for people, people would get healed. But then the problem was each and every time disrespecting you know, when they were sick, I would lay hands on them. But whenever I feel like disrespecting
I know.
You know the story, right? Yeah, and yeah, the story, it was not good. It was that's why I'm asking you about forgiveness. You know, at some point, ke trapile this young man, ke mo trapetse di homework tsa hae, ne? Kore ka mlata ko ga bone, ka mtrapa ha ke fetsa ka molokela mo butung ya koloi. And I went with him to the office. Ha ke fitla, hey, my God. You know, forgiveness, it's very important because if you don't, you're going to bleed on wrong people. And then you may find yourself, you know, I mean, the fact that future how, but how I'm doing it, it was wrong. You get my point? Then when I left there, I mean, I was like, you know that boy, discipline. I went I think after 2 months or so, my mind tells me I'm doing something right. You understand? Look, the painful part was at what expense?
Yes.
So, and there were days I remember I was preaching, go church. I asked a simple question. And I said to people, tell me, Bazalwana hore, ke mang obileng ashapa ke lightning, obileng abona lesedi on his way to Damascus. Then the church kept quiet. I got angry. I told everybody, pack your bags. Everybody stand up. You know the story. Eh? Everybody stand up. And I said, get out. And everybody left the church. That day, I remember when, hey, my God, when I was on the freeway coming back, I was fighting with people on the road. I'm a preacher of the gospel, but I'm harboring this anger. Do you understand? I did not know this anger is from, you know, me saying that because I was saying, my father, I know that he's alive, but to me he's dead. Yes. But I did not know that it is important for me to forgive that man, because what did he do? Me not forgiving that man made me to be aggressive towards people. I had to build systems, said him protect. Once I sense any sign of rejection, I would disappear. That thing was destroying me, destroying my relationships, you know. So I feel that when we are talking about the issue of fathers, people need to also be careful to understand, or some of the people that we are angry with were actually not fathered. Some of them, during apartheid era, during month end, they were never there for their kids, you know. So it's important that we get to a point where we say, I forgive you. I mean, when I went to my father, if not 3 years or 4 years ago, I went to him to say to him, hey, brah, you know what, remember, and each and every time I kopana le it would be like, Eta or grand, sure. Then that was it. And not saying anything. To me it was Eddie Brow grand, sharp, that's it. Until the other day I realized, and it was after I had a conflict with somebody, I realized, and the conflict was, the person asked me about him. Ebeke responder, you know, out of it's how then the person said, you are angry at that guy. I got even angry. Who are you to tell me about this man? And I went home. When I got home, I realized I need to forgive the guy. I had to go to him and say to him, sir, I am sorry for being angry at you for abandoning me. That humility of me going and saying, I am sorry, the conversation that we had set me free. Everything was lifted. I mean, when that year, there was a year where I declared it as the year of embracing change. And I took a book. I was writing down, okay, Kagiso, what kind of a human being are you? You know? And I wrote, you are rude, you are arrogant, ofela pelo, you fight. Because there were days I would be driving on the road, taxi driver and driver bad. Ki fitla ke mo kopela taxi, ki ya ko ignitioning ya koloi ke ntshe key ya ke latlhela ka mo ntlong ya batho. I don't even know roads. Where is Tunya or but my brain at that time tells me, you know what? My name is Kagiso Malepe. Yes, but by the grace, I had to face myself, be honest with myself. The greatest gift that one can give to himself or herself, and this is what I said, face yourself, face your enemies. Your enemy may be anger, it may be that arrogance, it may be, that bitterness. Face your enemies, face your worst fear. To some, our worst fear may be rejection. You get my point? And after facing your worst enemies, you need to make sure that you face your fears, because there are a lot of things that we are scared of simply because of our background.